Hi, today we're going to talk about writing an effective thesis statement. This is the most important statement that you will write in an essay. So let's get started. What makes a thesis effective? I like to think of a thesis statement like a GPS for your paper. Just like a GPS in real life tells you how to get somewhere, a GPS in a paper, in this way your thesis, tells you how to get through your entire thesis for the reader. They want to know where it's going. What are they going to see along the way? It focuses your paper. What that means is that there's a ton of ways that you can go about your paper, whether you're comparing two things, arguing something, showing cause-effect relationships. A thesis makes it so that it's focused on one of those ways of writing. It gives you an overview of the supporting points. In other words, it tells you what you're going to see along the way to your final destination, as it were. What are the main ideas of those body paragraphs that a reader will encounter on their way? And it gives just enough detail. You don't want to give away the end of a movie. You don't want to give away how the journey ends. So you want to give just enough detail to make your reader want to continue reading, but not too much detail that you spoil the journey. And you should use correct grammar and precise vocabulary. You don't want the reader to have to decode what you're trying to say. You want to make it very clear and obvious what you're going to talk about. There's a couple parts of a thesis that we should discuss. First thing is your topic. A topic is a general idea that is being discussed. For example, a topic might be, gambling, for instance. It's just a general topic, very broad. Next thing is it has a focus. Again, your focus are those cause-effect, comparison, argumentation type things. It has your supporting points. What are your body paragraphs going to talk about? How are you going to explain your idea? And here's a list of the type of focuses that are possible for you to write about. So we have that cause-effect, comparing two different subjects, a definition, a process. Basically, a process is like how you do something. An argument, arguing an opinion. Or classification. Classification is, this is this type of plant because of these characteristics. You're classifying something into a specific category. All right, so let's look at parts of a thesis statement. Before you can even get to a thesis statement, you really need to look at your research question. What is being asked of you to do? So here our research question is, why do students learn a foreign language? Our topic here, learning a foreign language. Pretty general. You could say a lot of things about this topic. So we need to think about our focus. How are we going to focus our thesis? Here we have the question, why? Why tells us that our focus is going to be cause. What causes students to learn a foreign language? So here's our thesis statement. Better job opportunities, cross-cultural awareness, and degree requirements prompt students to learn a foreign language. Within this thesis statement, you can actually see all the different parts of a thesis. Here we have our supporting points. The main ideas of those body paragraphs that we're going to be discussing later on. Okay. And then we have our topic, which is very, very important to have. And then we have our focus. Cause. What causes students to learn a foreign language? These supporting points do that for us. So these are the three things that we have to have in a thesis statement to kind of guide your reader through your essay. What is your topic? What are you going to say about your topic? In other words, what's your focus? And what are those supporting points? How are you going to explain your ideas? So coming up with supporting points is very important because you want to kind of tell the reader what they're going to expect throughout your essay. So the question is, how do you do that? Where do those supporting points come from? And it comes from answering the research question. So why do people obtain master's degrees? If that's your research question, all you want to do is just answer it. And that's how you're going to come up with those body paragraph main ideas. So your answers here would be more marketable to employers, more comfortable income, a more specialized career. If we take that and we want to put it together into a thesis statement, again, thinking about what is the focus, again, we have why. Why tells me that I am talking about cause. What causes people to obtain a master's degree? We have our topic, obtaining a master's degree. And now we have our supporting points. So let's put it all together, and this becomes your thesis statement. And you can see all three parts. And we can even number them so it's easier to see the 3 points. So here we have master's degree is our topic. Pursuing, our cause. What causes a student to pursue a degree? And then here we have our supporting points. 1, 2, and 3. Very important. Okay, so let's talk about just enough information. Just enough information is very important because, like I said, you don't need to include too much information, but you don't want to include too little information. So you want to ask yourself, what is the paper going to tell me? Take a look at this example. There are many advantages and disadvantages to owning an iPhone. Is this paper going to tell me anything I don't already know? No. There are advantages and disadvantages to everything. So when you think about an essay, you want to tell the reader something they don't already know. Tell me something new. Because there are advantages and disadvantages to everything, this is not enough information. So this is a bad thesis statement. Not enough. This is a little bit better. For students, the advantages of owning a smartphone far outweigh the disadvantages. Here I'm taking a clear stance and saying that, okay, yeah, there are advantages and disadvantages, but there are more advantages than there are disadvantages. That's an arguable point because somebody could say, no, there's more disadvantages than advantages. So here we're telling them something they don't know. And again, I differentiate that by saying something like far outweigh. I'm quantifying, saying there are more advantages than there are disadvantages. So by using the right vocabulary, I made it a little bit more precise, and also I gave enough information. There are many benefits to learning a foreign language. Now, is this too much or not enough? Am I going to learn something new by looking at this thesis statement? The answer is not enough information. There are many benefits. Do I know what this thesis or this paper is going to tell me? No, I have no idea where this paper is going. And if this were my GPS, I would be a little bit worried about following it into the unknown. You don't know where it's going to take you. So here, again, not enough information. This is not a good thesis statement. Here we have a little bit more information, but do I have too much information? I do. I have my topic, students learning a foreign language. I have some benefits, but here I'm giving information like where they will need to communicate with businesses overseas, living in a foreign country where they can learn about that culture. All this information should be in those body paragraphs. So I want to cut this down because now I have too much information. Because if I give too much information, what is my body paragraph going to talk about? So just like you don't want to give away the end of a movie before someone goes to see it, you don't want to give away your body paragraphs before your reader goes to read it. So here is a little bit better because now I took out that extra information and now I just have my topic and my supporting points and my focus. So I took out the extra information, which left me with the benefits of communicating and developing a cross-cultural awareness that will be useful for a future career. So that is the perfect amount of information. Okay, so cross this one out too. And here again, here are the good thesis statements. Okay. So let's talk about grammar and precise vocabulary. This will help you give your thesis statement just the right amount of information. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. The first thing to think about is that those 3 parts of a thesis statement that you need can appear in any order. There's no one specific formula that says this is the only way a thesis statement can be. Okay, you have a little bit of liberty with how you present that information. So let's take a look at our example research question here. Why do people become a vegetarian? Again, here is our topic. All right, vegetarian. Our focus, again, we have cause. And then we need to think about our supporting points. I came up with 3: health, ethics, and ecology. And let's look at the different ways that they can appear in your thesis statement. All right, so here in the very first example, I have the general idea first. 3 reasons why people become vegetarians are, and then I list out the 3 supporting points. Number 2, I have my 3 supporting points first, followed by my focus and my topic. And then in the third one, I have my focus and topic before my supporting points. So 3 examples to show you that you have liberty with how you organize the information in your thesis statement. The main thing to remember is you need to be able to point out your topic, your focus, and your supporting points. Style. I statements are inappropriate. Okay, it's too informal. A research paper or any essay you write is very formal language, so you need to take yourself out of it. One way to do that is to use the passive voice or the third person. So here it says I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why people choose to be vegetarians, which include health, ethics, and ecology. Okay, this is bad. Okay, we don't want to say things like I'm going to talk about, I will discuss, I will show you, blah, blah, blah. Instead, it's better to use a third person. People become vegetarians for 3 reasons: health, ethics, and ecology. Okay, there we have no personalization. It's very formal, so this is better use of your grammar. So vocabulary is important because you have so much that you have to include in one statement, one sentence. So it needs to be very precise, very clear. Here are some examples of common vocab that can help you become very clear. These will help you eliminate the need to over-explain or over-define your ideas, because if you use things like reasons or results or differences, characteristics, those are related to specific types of focuses that tell your reader what kind of information to expect in the rest of your essay. So by picking clear vocabulary, you're going to eliminate the, fluffy wording or the, extra long sentences that, the simpler and the easier it is, the better it will be for your reader to know what to expect from your paper.